Hey guys, welcome back to Selenium with Java April 2024 batch training session 11. In today's session, I will cover data-driven testing one approach. In the 10th session, you already learned how to read the data from the Excel sheet through data-driven testing. Today, you will learn how to read and write the data from the Excel sheet using different approach. And I will also cover today keyword-driven framework and hybrid framework. So what are the things required for the data-driven framework? First thing is that you would require Eclipse. Then in the Eclipse you need to create a project. It might be Java project. Then you need to add test.ng, then Selenium jar file, then Apache PY jar file, and your Microsoft Excel will be there, from where you will be reading and writing the data. So I have already created a project here. Okay. So this is the project Apache PY read Excel data created. SRC folder will be always there. Training package created, and I have created a class training session 111.java. It can be test.ng class. So before that, right, you can just add all the jar file. Go to the properties. Right, you need to go to the Java build path. You need to add that Selenium jar. Right, and then here in the class path you can add all the jar file. All the Apache PY jar you already seen the last session along with the Selenium jar. So whatever I have already added here. Apart from that, you need to add the test.ng library, right? You could see that is already added here. So this is the thing required first. So all the reference library you could get it here, and test.ng also will be available here. Then next thing is that you need to create a Excel. So say I want to give some value in the Facebook page, right? Maybe you can click on the login button so that you can verify that whether login is successful or not. So what I did, I just this is the Excel sheet you already seen in the last session. So I have created a row, okay, which is giving the header. You can make it bold also to understand this is the header. Okay, this is not the data from taking, this is sheet number, and this is the data it is taking, and here it will update the data, pass, fail, whatever you want to update it. So reading the data and writing the data as well at the same time. But whenever you want to read the data, you can open the Excel, that not be a problem. It will read the data. But in case you want to write the data, make sure that you are closing all the Excel application, otherwise it will throw the error. Because in case Excel is open, you cannot write the data, right? It will throw the error. So say in the email ID password field, I want to add this combination. I want to see whether the thing is successful or not. In case successful, I want to update the status, execution status as passed. So that is my objective. So what line of code I have written? So in case you want to read the Excel sheet you already saw, you need to go to the path of the file, you need to go to the row, column, cell, and you need to also create update the cell also, right? New cell value. So what I have written here in another approach, I have created a global variable for WebDriver driver, excessive workbook, excessive worksheet. That part you already seen last session. So I created one more object for the class excessive cell. Then before test, after test is nothing, just I am launching the Chrome browser, maximizing it and closing it every time. So that part I don't want to demonstrate more because that is the same thing I am repeating again. Then I am creating my test cases. So public void, and this is my method name, and I am adding the exception. So I am already open the browser, so just I am launching the Facebook page. Then I am creating a file class. So where I am giving the reference of the file from where I want to read it out. You can get the path here. This is the path where file is placed, and this is the seed name, and this is the extension here. With the help of the file class, I can go to the file. Then with the help of the file input stream, I can try to reach the file. Then I am going to the workbook because I have defined all the global variable here, right? Once I go to the file, I can go to the workbook. So workbook, workbook equal to new workbook. And then I am going to the worksheet. First I am going to the workbook, then I am going to the sheet, and what is the sheet? Indexing is 0. I will cover how to read it with the help of the sheet name as well. So indexing is 0, only one sheet is there, because multiple things there, you can give 1, 2, 3 like that, starting with 0. Then I am going to the worksheet because I have already gone to the sheet number 0. Then I want to read how many row data is available, right? So I am going to the worksheet, and then I am just trying to read how many data is available. So that is the way I am getting some value. So this is the value 6, total number is 6, I am coming, right? Then you could see I have written a for loop starting with I equal to 1. Why? because here my first row is heading. I don't want to read it, just given for the user reference. I want to read it from here. So I equal to 0, I am just kind of neglecting or ignoring, and I equal to 1, I am starting. So I equal to 1 till the length of the file, right? A row count. I less than equal to row count I am going, then I plus plus. Then I am going to the cell. So how can I go to the cell? I am going to the worksheet. I already came to the worksheet here, right? I already know how many row is there, data is there. Then I am going to the worksheet. Then I am going to the for every row. So for every row I want to read it. So starting with I equal to 1, then the get cell 0, because this is the file I am having the username field, and this is the field having the password field. This is the cell 1. So that is the way I am trying to read the data in the cell. Then I am setting the cell type as string, because I already mentioned, right? Always you need to start as string type, okay, from the Excel sheet. Then here I am just adding the value, and after that every time I want to clear the value. Email field adding, after I want to clear it. So what is the field? Email field, right? This is the email field. I have identified diver.find element by.id equal to email and all this stuff. So that is the, you already know. Okay, then I am sending the cell value. Whatever cell value I have stored here, I am sending the stored value. So my field will be added, value will be added, and after that every time it will be clear. So I will be giving some thread time, 3 seconds. So that 3 seconds it will be clear. Similarly, I am going to the cell again for the cell 1, which is nothing but the password field. I have identified with the help of the id equal to pass, and same way I am clearing and entering the value. I will wait for 3 seconds every time. Then here within the for loop, I have added one more new logic, because here my objective is to read the data as well as to write the data. So cell 0 is that username field starting with I equal to 1. That is the way loop is iterating. But this is cell 1 field. It is I am getting for the username field. This is for the password field, and this is the cell 2. I want to update my result. I want to update it, not reading. I want to write the data. So here you could see within the same for loop, inside the same for loop, not outside the for loop, I have created something called file output stream, because that is the thing to write the data. So file output stream equals same file difference. What I want to update? I want to update pass. That is the string I want to update. So I am going to the worksheet. For every I am creating a new cell. Where? Cell number 2. That is 2, right? 0, 1 and 2. Cell number 2. So I want to set the value, whatever test result I just want to write it. So that's simple logic. So first I am going to the workbook. This is my path, then the sheet number and .xls extension. Then I am going to the sheet. Here I am reading how many row data is available. So that is my valid row. I want to read everything. Then I am iterating a for loop where I am starting I equal to 1 and I equal to 0 I am ignoring, because that is the header part. I don't want to read anything from here. I am reading from here. Okay, so then I want to read it from here for the row 0, which is nothing but your email field. I want to update all the value. I will be clearing after 3 seconds. Similarly for the cell 1, it will be again enter the value. And this is the cell 2 I am creating with the help of the file output stream, creating a new cell, and then I am adding the value with the help of the write method, which is coming from the XSF workbook and sheet. Okay, then just you can run it, but you need to make sure that you are closing the sheet always, otherwise it will throw the error. Okay, so let's try to run it. It will be test-ng test, because it's a test-ng class. So it will open the page, it will enter the value email 1, password 1. It will wait for 3 seconds, it will clear the value. You can click on the login button as well. In case it is able to do it operation, so it will add the value in the third column, which is cell 2 as a passed or fail, whatever you want to give it. And after all the iteration is done, it will close the browser as well, because that is the after test method objective, right? Here you have written. Okay. So that way it worked, and you could see the pass here, right? You could able to see the pass, but it is considering a single test case. Okay, but now if you go here, you could able to see the pass data has got updated here. Then remove it, and let's go for one more field here, 2 more field here, and let's see how the thing is impacted. So you no need to touch your code. In case you want to change vary data, in case you want to add some field, you can add it. Just you can update the comment code accordingly. But in case you want to go for different variety of the thing, right? You don't need to update your code. You just need to update your Excel sheet. That is the beauty of the data driven testing. always. So let's go here again, run it. So it will work for 7 iteration, and every time it will update the result in the Excel sheet. So that is the way it will work as a read and write operation in the Excel sheet with the help of the Apache PUI. So Apache PUI will be always required. So first you need to create a project. In the SRC folder you can create a package, you can create a class, testng class, you can write your method, report test, after test, you can declare the global variable, driver, WebDriver, X workbook, worksheet and cell. Then you will read how many cell data is available. So first row you can, in case you are not giving any first row, you can start from the first row as well. So it will use choice. Okay, and definitely first row should be giving some information. So I will be starting with the first, second row cell, right? Then you will read the data for the cell wise, for the username field, password field, and you want whatever you want to update it, it will also update in the cell 2 with the help of the file output stream thing. Now if you again see here, it's updated 7:42 p.m. right, 15/6/2024. Now if you open again, right, you could able to see all the 7 data file, your data test data updated. So that is the beauty of the thing. Okay, so that is the way you can, another approach, you can read and write the data with the help of the data driven testing approach. Okay, any questions? Okay, then so data driven part you already seen two different approach. One I already covered last day, and today this is the another approach where you can read and write both the data. So you have learned two approach here for the data driven testing. Now I'll cover the most two important thing for the hybrid framework and keyword driven framework. Okay, so we'll discuss it, what is hybrid framework, what is keyword driven framework. So here you are just running the same test case with different variety of the data. That is the data driven framework. But keyword driven framework is you are doing the operation based on the keyword or actions called. So keyword driven framework is a technique in which all the operation and instruction to be performed are written separately from the actual test case. The similarity it has with data driven framework is that operation to be performed is again stored in external thing. It can be Excel, CSV, or maybe a database. But it is very tough, like database is but mostly 90% project, 95% project using the Excel driven approach only. So user can easily control and specify the functionality they want to test. So your automation script will be there and keyword library will be there where you can both side operation and you can application under test. So from the keyword it will take the input data, automation script, right? It will try to work with the application. Similarly, whenever application will send some data, again with the help of the automation script you will update the library. So that is the example of the keyword driven framework. So advantage, right, reusable components. So similarly for the reusable component you'll be creating a keyword for the reusable component. That keyword can be used n number of time. Any changes you can just update the keyword. So user can write the detailed test plan having desired input and verification data in the form of simple and convenient spreadsheet. Okay, so expertise will be required because it cannot start without any knowledge. So productive will be there, right? Much productivity you can achieve, right? Your kind of loss of effort will be more, like in case you want to write kind of maintain the code, it will be very helpful also. So that is the advantage is having. Disadvantage is all for the framework mostly same. Again, initial time it will be there, right? You need to spend initial amount, right? You need to give the proper training, like resources should be having the right skill set. They should learn the programming language, framework, and the tool itself. So that are the couple of stuff you need to do, and you need to focus on the formatting other part in case they are doing any mistake, right? It will be completely ruin the project, right? It will be crash the project. So what is the difference between data driven keyword driven framework? So data driven framework is comparatively harder to maintain since the abstraction is only between data and test script, whereas keyword driven framework is comparatively more easy to maintain because there is more abstraction between data, script, and keyword, etc. So for the keyword driven framework, right, planning to be extensive and precise, whereas planning is easy because your single script will be driven by the different kind of variation of the data. So your keyword driven framework, in case your application is not ready enough, still you can proceed because you need to framework design the framework part. After that, as and when application will be ready, you can just update it accordingly. But your keyword driven framework, in case your application is not ready, you cannot run because your code should be there and you will varying the code with different combination of the data. So that is the couple of important like differences between the keyword driven and hybrid, sorry, data driven framework. Sometimes you, some interviewer might ask, and also you should know what is the primary thing. So hybrid framework is nothing but combination of keyword and data driven. So that's the simple thing. So here you will be reading the data, you will be writing the data, might be right. You will be running the same test case, but you can run in the multiple test case also varying the data. That is the concept of hybrid. So hybrid framework in Selenium is a concept where testers are using the advantage of both keyword driven framework as well as data driven framework. It is easy to use framework which allows manual tester to create test case by just looking at the keyword, test data and object repository without coding in the framework. Here the keyword as well as the test data are externalized. Keyword are maintained in a separate Java class file, and test data can be maintained either in a properties file, Excel file, or can be used by the data provider of a test engine framework. So what are the primary advantage of hybrid framework? Maintainability. Hybrid framework significantly reduce maintenance effort. In the real-time project, right, mostly they will be using the hybrid framework, and maintenance effort will be very reduced. Reusability. Objective of the framework is to create the reusable component and use them n number of times, so that any changes is required, you can just update the reusable component only, and wherever it will calling, it will automatically reflection will be done. Manageability. Test design will be effective, execution and testability also will be effective in case you are using the hybrid framework. Accessibility. It's very easy to design, develop, modify and debug test case while execution. Availability. It allows to schedule automation execution even during weekend, during night, all this stuff. Reliability. Right. It also having the advanced features for error handling and scenario recovery. Flexibility. Is framework independent of any system or environment under test. So suppose today you are developing the framework with the for the dev environment. Tomorrow you can run for the system testing environment, system integrating environment, UAT testing environment, end-to-end environment. Just you need to change the URL. That's all. Because your locator and other stuff function will not change in different environment. So today you are writing the code for one environment, and after only just updating the environment, variable environment, or in case you are having user ID password, that's all. And after that you can run the same code in 10 environment. So that way you can check your environment readiness or any kind of trouble in any of the environment. Measurability. It will allow customers reporting on test result, ensuring the quality of the output. So that are the different stuff of the technical standpoint. So I will now discuss how you can create the framework. So I already created the framework because this is very complex in nature, so you can understand. So that framework is already available in my Google Drive. So what you need to do, you need to download the framework, you need to unzip it, and then you need to import it. Okay, you need to import it, that complete project. Okay, you can use here that, okay, existing, right, Maven project or maybe other project also, Java project in case you are having. Okay, general, click here, you could see existing project into workspace. If you click here, and you could able to see what are the project thing you want to do it, just do it, select the project, right, you could see here, you could select it after extracting, and you can click on next, finish and all stuff. So that is the way better to just import the project, because in the real time, right, the project some structure is there, you need to import it. So that is the way you can import it. Now this is the project I have created, keyword driven framework. Okay, so here in case you want to create from the scratch, again you need to create a Java project, src folder, you need to create 3 package here. So I have created, you can create other package as well. One is for Excel operation, one is for normal operation, one is for test cases. You can add the test ng, you can add the reference library as part of all the Apache file, and also the Selenium jar file. So I have created a test case.xlx file. So how can you get it and how can you import it? Right click here, okay, right click here, click on new, click on file. So you can select here file name, right? So properties file, if you want to create, you can give any name, extension will be dot properties. Similarly, you can create something called testcase.xlx. That is the way you can give it and create it. So now otherwise you can create an XLS, you can just open the project. How can you open the project? Go to the properties, and there will be path, right? Resources, this is the path where your project code is available. Just go to copy here, paste it in the browser window, right, and open it. You could see this thing is available, right? This is the project thing is available. Okay, this is the testcase.xlx file. I have just created. So you can open it, or you can create outside and paste it outside the project. So that is the way it can be done. You can create a properties file also, like object right click, no, give object.properties file. So test cases, I am just explaining how I want to modify it. I want to write the test cases. So this is the thing. Suppose say this is the URL I want to automate, right? Read email. I want to create couple of scenario. One thing is that I want to open the page. One thing is after opening the page, I want to give the username, password, and click on the sign in button. One thing is that I want to give the username and password with the sign in button. One thing might be that I want to give the username password, then I want to click on the forgot password link. That is the way in number of scenario you can be having in the page. You can click on the new account button, right? So this is the thing you can automate. After that, if you go to the forgot password screen, you can enter some password and you can click on the next, right? If you it is giving not, you are giving some error message. That is the way page by page you can automate. Okay, so that is the scenario. So what I have written here, I have created couple of cells here, 5 cells, right? So this is the first test cases. This is called test cases, where you are giving the description of the test case. Whenever you are giving the description, remaining column you are keeping as a blank. I will let you know our objective. Why? So first thing is that I want to log into the ready page with invalid credential. So this is the keyword I am giving. So in case I want to go to the ready page with invalid credential, I need to navigate to the URL first. That is my URL. I need to launch it. Then I need to give something, set some values in the username field, set the value in password field. I need to click on the sign in button. So that is the thing I have given here. You could see navigate to URL, set text, username field, password field, and the click operation. So this is your keyword. So you can give anything. Click one, set text one, set text two, navigate to URL, right? Go to the URL, anything. But that keywords you need to define in the code. So I will explain you. Okay. So always whenever you will be using the same thing, you should give it same, so that you will be writing it one time and it will be work based on the thing n number of time. Then this is the object name you are giving based on your own way. So username you can give it like username text field, anything you can give it, but without any space. Okay, uppercase, lowercase, that is your choice. So I want to interact with the user, navigate to URL. So there is no user object. I am directly launching the page. So there is no object at all. So username field, I want to set some value, that is my field. Similarly, sign in button is also field name. I am giving my own choice. You are giving it. You think anything given. Sign in button in ready home page, right? Without space. But so the people can understand. Password text field, username text field, that is the way. Then here I am giving the locator, what through which I want to add, right? Identify the element. So you can press F12 button here. So if you go for the username field, right, you could see the locator is ID, right? Login one. That is the your name equal login, through which you can easily identify. So that is the locator value I am giving, ID. Second, password field, I want to maybe identify through different locator called name. So that is name is also available called PASSWD. So for the sign in button, right, you could see name is also available, proceed, value is sign in. Value is not a thing, right? So either it should be ID, name, class name, XPath, all this stuff. Otherwise you can create XPath or CSS. So that is simple thing I am given. Okay, those part I will define it. Just you can give any uppercase, lowercase, that does not matter. Okay, not the Selenium conversion, but we will convert those part in Selenium relevant code. Then whenever you want to update some value to the URL, right, you need to give the URL value. Similarly, in case you want to add something in the username, you can give the value here. Password field, give the value here. So next time I am running the scenario, so my this thing is common, right? In case you want to write for 10 times, this thing is common, but you just want to update the value. So here you are kind of doing the data driven testing, you are doing the keyword driven testing as well. So that is can be hybrid approach as well. So every time I want to update URL which is constant, you can just give the value, variable name. Whatever is not constant, you can change it accordingly. That is the beauty. Similarly, invalid cancel set 3. You could see again different set. Now I want to click on the forgot password page. So I give some value in the username password. I can click on the forgot password link. So this is my new field. Otherwise, remaining step is still common. Right, so navigate to URL, username, set text field, all this stuff, and now I am clicking on the sign in button. So that is the way I am trying to identify the sign in button. Only sign in button, forget password link. So what is this that this forget password is click thing. Okay, sorry, forget password. This is the forget password. It's a click operation again because I'm clicking on that link, right? This link hyperlink, you need to click it only. So this is the variable name or the field name I have given, forget password. And now through which I am interacting, it is the link text or partial link text you can do because it's a link. You could see this is the link text, right? There is no ID name, class name is there, either you can create XPath also. So that is the way I am created this thing. So that is the first thing. Then you need to create a properties file. Okay, you can see here this is the properties file created. So where I will be defining this thing. So URL, because that URL will be only one place you need to give it, because tomorrow you need to change it from the other pages, right? For Facebook pages you can keep it only here, just you need to update it, just like environment, UAT, devs, SIT, ST, into end. So every time you can change the environment name from the here properties file. Now you could see here I have tried to map my element locator with here. So whatever value I have given for the username, through which I am trying to identify ID locator. So what is the ID locator for the email field? ID locator is login1. So that here I am matching it here. So username field, the element locator is ID in the Excel sheet and the value is login1. Why I am putting it here? Because element locator might change anytime. So you need to update only one place. You could see the username field is being called in 3 places here or 4 places here, but I am not update here. I will update only the properties file, so that automatically everywhere it will got changed. Similarly for the password field, go to the password field. So password field I am trying to read with the name element locator. What is the name? PASSWD. You could see I have matched it to there. Similarly sign in button, it is also link. So it is also a name. Sign in button, right? You could see name is proceed. So you could see here this is the name, through which name element locator I want to read the sign in button. What is the value? The value is proceed. So I have just updated here. So exactly this field should match with that Excel sheet name, otherwise it will never work. So in case you want to change it password one, you need to change also their password one also. Okay, then similarly new field is coming called forget password here. Whatever new field is coming, you need to add it there only one time. But in test case, same field you can use n number of times with different variable value. That is not be a problem. So forget password field through which I want to interact with, I want to identify the link text. Link. So what is the link? Forget password, this is the forget password link, right? So I have tried to match with here. This is the forget password with exactly. So that is the way I am doing it. I will take a pause before going to the other complex part, guys. Are you able to understand so far? That might look easy, guys. It's not easy so much. Okay, anything you are doing, any mistake, it will never work. So everything you need to follow it thoroughly. So you need to import the project. You can understand how it is written. Just but I am still clearing what is the way my framework has been written. Any doubt? Okay. Then next thing is that I want to read that object properties file, right? Whatever I have written here. So how can I read it? This is what is that? This is the key value pair combination. This is the called key and this is called value. So I want to read it. So what I did, I have created a package called operation. So I have created a Java class. Simply right click on Java class, read properties file. So you could see I am creating an object for the properties class. This is the class available in Java. Then I am creating a method called get object repository. Then I am with the help of the input stream. I am going to the input stream and this is my path. So this is the path, okay, where my properties file is pressed. So if you right click and if you go to that one, it will give you the correct project path. Because tomorrow in case you are importing, right, you can load it in your D drive. Today is my C drive and Haradhan names, right? Tomorrow it can be your name, right? Rexa and D drive. So that is the reason you should always keep that one, so that you no need to worry about which path is there. So it will give you always the current project path. After that you are concatenating it object dot properties, so that you no need to change it in the real time framework. Tomorrow your laptop to convert it to other laptop, you are like using the code to other person, so they don't need to change it, right? That system dot get properties user directory, that code will give you the correct project path till here on your system. So in case let's see, this is the thing I have already written. So if you run it, you could able to get the correct project path on your system, not my system. Okay, you could see what is the output is giving. It is giving me C user Dell desktop, and this is the project name. So here the project is got stored. So it is giving me that path. Now what I have been reading, I am going to the path here directly, then slash slash, then the object or properties file. Then with the help of that object whatever created for the property class, I am loading everything, loading the string and returning it. What returning? Returning is properties. So that is the way I am just returning everything, whatever I am trying to read with the properties class. That's all. This is the first class. Second class, I want to match it, right? Whatever I have written in the Excel sheet, I want to map it. What is the operation objective, right? What is the thing? I need to match with Selenium command. These two part I need to match it. So I will be creating two methods. One is for defining this keyword accents, and this is the part I want to map with the relevant element locator technique. So if you go to Eclipse here, what I did, I have defined global variable WebDriver driver. I have created a constructor which is nothing but the keyword operation. Sometime otherwise it might never work, so that is the problem might happen. So I am creating a here operation called perform. So properties, then operation, then object name, then object type, and then value. So I am giving a switch case. So in case click, case is click, so you should match it here, whatever term you are writing. Exactly. Set text, click, navigate to URL. In case you are adding one more thing called verify URL, other stuff exactly need to match. Now I am defining what is click all about. So in case driver.find element, right, through which I am identifying, I will be showing in the next line, click, then it will click and break out. In case it is set text, so driver.find element, all this stuff dot send keys, and what is the value? Value you are getting from the Excel sheet, this tab. So in case it is a navigate to URL, so it is only just passing the URL in the new browser. So that is the way it will break immediately. So in case you are having n number of right keyword, you need to define it every time. What is the objective, all this stuff, and otherwise default break. Now whatever I have written so far, this is the part. So that need to match with Selenium command, right? Selenium will never understand ID, name, kicks path. You can give it to name one also. I'm just giving simple example, X path, caps letter, small letter. But Selenium will only understand the only their terminology, whatever exactly there, this cap or uppercase, lowercase, all the letter. So what I am doing it here, if my object type equal ignoring case, money means uppercase, lowercase, X path equal to, then what will do? By X path. That is the Selenium part, right? By X path and the expression. In case it is a match with class name, so it will be by dot class name, Selenium part. Similarly name, it will be by dot name. So that is the way it is matching. Okay, so whatever you've written, that is the way it is trying to match for all the element locator, otherwise it will be wrong object type. So that is the way I am creating a method called get object where return type will be by, and that by is going here. Okay, you could see this object, then object type and object name and object type. So driver.find element by dot xpath, by dot id, by dot name, and then it is clicking it because the click operation. Set text, it will dot send keys and the corresponding value from the Excel. It is navigating to the URL driver.get URL here. It will be just with the help of the class, right, properties class, you will be just getting the URL. So that is the way you need to do it. It might be tough, guys, not very easy, but you need to understand the logic of the code, whatever I have written. Now I will try to create a package and class for the Excel operation. See what I am doing. So I am going to the, for I want to read the Excel, so I am giving the file path, file name, and the seed name. File path is C drive, you already seen, whatever desktop is available. File name is nothing but that, right, whatever thing, this particular project, right, testcase.xlsx. Okay, so this is my test case. So and the project path you can give it, and seed name, whatever seed name is there, seed name, this is the seed name, keyword driven framework. So I am trying to read the seed name, not the indexing. So you can learn everything. So I am going to the file here, file class. So file path plus file name. Then I am going to using the file input stream. Then I am giving something called workbook equal to none initially. Then in case extension is .xlsx, it will everything will be XSF workbook. In case XLS is .xls, it will be HSS workbook. That is the way. So I am going to the sheet, going workbook and get sheet and sheet name, not the number, and then data sheet I am returning it here. So the return type is sheet. So that is for reading the Excel sheet. So what you already seen, I am just creating a class for reading the properties file. Then whatever Excel sheet, right, I am trying to given the element locator value, that part I am matching with Selenium command. Then whatever I have written as a keyword, those keyword actions I am defining, what objective of this part. So you can give as a click, but you can add a set value, that is not be a problem. You can define that one as a with the relevant part, but that is not the practice. So that our practice is that everybody can understand easily, right, whatever coding you have done, all this stuff. Then I'll be creating my test cases. So I'll go with the keyword driven framework. So here, like you could see, define a global WebDriver driver, set up and teardown method for opening the browser and closing the browser. Then I'm creating my test cases for the keyword driven framework. So this is my test case name, test ready page. I'm giving the exception always. So first thing is that whatever class created, right, for read properties, read file keyword, I'm creating object here. Similarly, properties file, I also creating object. Then I'm calling that method get object property, so that all properties file everything will be I can capture in the all object. Then I'm again creating an object for keyword operations class here. So this is the stuff is done. I've created the object for three things, and I also created the object for the properties class, and I'm reading all the data combination. Then I'm going to the sheet. Here you could see return type is sheet, so I can call that method directly read Excel. So automatically return type will be sheet. So that is the thing I am did here. Calling the method file dot read Excel, and this is the path. You are already seen current project, right? This is the project path. Current project is there, Excel file. This is the current project path. What is the name of the thing? Test xls.excel, right? Test case.excel, and the what is the sheet name? Name is keyword driven framework. Keyword framework. So that is the part I am given. That is the way I am trying to go to the Excel sheet. Now I am creating a loop for loop, right? Where I want to get the data, how many data is available. So I am going to the last sheet, right? That is the sheet I am having the value, and I am going to the first sheet. So 1 to 50, it might be 50 sheet actually row, but it will be giving me the 59, count as 49. So that is the reason I am created a +1 to get the exact number of row where data is available. So that is giving me the integer value. So say here data is available 18. So I am starting with first, value will be starting with first and go 18, so it will be 17 actually. So I always need to go for the last two and first two and +1. That is the way I can easily understand for how many row data is available. So then that data, using that data, I can using a for loop starting with I equal to 1, I less than equal to row count, and I plus plus. Why? Because this is the first row I am having with the header. So I am not going through that. I am trying to read from the second row. Then here my objective will be there, row equal to row. Now my thing will be there. I will be calling that method. Okay. What method? So where our objective I am giving if row dot get cell 0, row dot get cell 0, that is the first row, row dot get cell 0 dot length equal to 0, means here no value, then it will do the operation here based on the thing. As and when equal to 0, then it will some sort of print the value. Then test case started, right, rendered. So that is the thing I have written. In case it equal to 0, it will do the operation based on the objective I have written so far with the value properly added. In case equal to 0 means there is no value at all. So this is the test cases. No operation is available for this row wherever value is there in the cell one. So it will simply print out the test cases name. You can concatenate the new test cases name along with the test cases name started. So that is the way you can do it. Now let's try to run your code and let's see. So it should see all the scenario, it will try to run it. So it is reading the data, you can close the Excel still, that's fine. You could see first scenario got run, second scenario to second combination, third scenario is combination also running. So sometimes it might take some time. It is getting slow, that is the reason it is failure. Again you can run it. So sometime it might take a long time, so it might get failed. You could see it is working, it is working, it is working, right? And it is working. So 5 actually thing got run, right? 5 scenario I want to run. So all run and pass result. So you could see your first run first, right? So it got run and first it will be considered single test case because it's a keyword driven framework. So all the keyword will consider single test cases, not the hybrid one. Okay, data driven means one test case will multiple version of the keyword is like multiple test case with different keyword. Sorry, one test case it will consider different keyword. So I'll explain once more time before going to the other. So first thing is that you need to create Excel. So this is the sample Excel. You can add n number of column also here. So this is the 5 different column. So first column I will be skipping as a header, and here the cell 0 is my test case. So whenever I am giving some value, I am intentionally keeping the remaining column as blank, because in case value is there, simply it is considered as a test case. It will not perform any operation. But in case there is no value, it will consider as an operation for this particular test cases. So second column is nothing but my keyword, and you will be defining it by your own, whatever you want to define. But that keyword you need to provide the steps, what objective is that. Wherever common, you can just duplicate the thing. And then objective also you can give by your own, but you can give so that people can understand what is the objective, like username edit you can give it, so that you can add some value. Sign in button, click, right? You could click some value. And this is the nothing but the which element locator technique you want to identify the objective, and you are giving the value whatever you want to pass. One case it is common one, right? You will be giving it through the properties file. So I am creating a properties file as well. So wherever it is common, I will be giving the value so that I can change only one time and I can place it. And then for the username field, ID value you are giving it here. Password field, whatever name you have given, that value you are putting it here, so that anytime any changes you will be just updating the properties file. That is the way, right? You can just save your time. Then next thing is that in the src file you are creating multiple package. So first thing is that you are trying to read the properties file. Okay, you are creating a class for the properties class of object. Then you are to input stream, you are going to the file path and the extension of the file and loading it everything. So that is the way. Then you are going for the keyword operation. First you are defining a method for your element locator. Xpath, in case it is xpath, it will be by xpath, x class, all this stuff, right? By class name, by name, by selector, all the element locator. Then now here you are creating one more method for doing the operation. So here you are matching exactly switch case, click, whatever you have defined in the Excel should match exactly that one. Only ignoring the case, that's all. Okay, so what is the click? It will driver.findElement.click. What is the set text? Driver.findElement by .id, name, class name, all this stuff, .send keys, and the value whatever you are trying to derive it from the Excel, right? Navigate to URL, all this stuff. So that is stuff is done. Then you are doing the read operation. So you are creating a read Excel sheet. First you are going to the file path, the file name and the sheet name, and you are just trying to add this code, reading the data. Now you are trying to doing the keyword operation. So you are creating a constructor, you are creating a declaring some global variable world driver. Sorry, not that one. Yeah, you are defining WebDriver. You are going to the before test after test, which is nothing but the launching and the closing the browser. You are just using a test cases, right? You are creating the object whatever class you are created, then you are calling that thing, right? Method. you are going the row number. Row number is nothing but the first to last, and then plus one, because summation is always giving you the minus one sign. That is the reason giving plus one. Then you are going for a loop, for loop, right? You are starting with cell 1. Why? Because the first cell is the information perspective only, or the header, right? Then you are, as and when you are, right, this part is not value, you will doing the operation. As and when this value is there, you will concatenating and make sure that it is showing as the test case name of the current test case. So that is the way it is running, and all the test case, in case you are adding it here, instead of 5 test cases you want to add 10 test cases, right? Like that, different combination data. So you could see how you can simply update it here. That's all, right? You don't need to change anywhere. So you can want to create one more negative test case, like test case 4, right? You can just give the value, change the value, that's all. Okay, that's all. Now you could see it will be running for the actually 6 test cases instead of 5, right? That is the beauty. So you can run it only here. So once your framework skeleton is ready, then you can add n number of test cases in the Excel. In case any new thing is coming, you need to update your code. That is the way real-time framework will be there. Now it will work for the different combination of the data. Okay, so everything it will be run one by one. So it might fail because sometimes might take some time. So you can give some wait time like 1 second, 30 second also, so that you will never fail. Okay. Slowly, in case you are starting already getting the confidence, you can just update it. You could see pass everything. So I have, instead of 5, it run for 6 times. Then same approach will be there. For the hybrid, your code will be different. Okay, here only that last part. Otherwise, it will be same. So your hybrid is nothing but a combination of data driven keywords. So you will be using the test data provider part, whatever you have learned. Alright. So again, you are defining some global variable for the WebDriver. Okay. So you are first you want to read the data. Okay, how you reading the data? Then that data, with the help of the data, you want to execute the test case. So we are creating the object here. For the class, whatever you define, you are going to the sheet. You are giving the path of the file, then the test case name, and then the sheet name. Then you are trying to get the row number exactly. Okay, so you are giving last row minus first row. So I will show you where it is there. Okay, then you are going for the object row count and cell number, you already know 5. Then here you are giving 2 loop, inner for loop and outer for loop. Okay, this is the outer for loop. I starting with I equal to 0, I less than count, I plus plus. And for every I, it will try to also go for another for loop called j. So that is the way you are getting to the cell of the Excel sheet, and then you are reading the cell value. So that is the way for every operation you will be doing it. The data combination. First you are reading the data combination, because row and column will give you the cell value. So for every outer loop, you are going to the inner loop, and then you are getting the cell value, and that cell value you are storing it here, right? That object. Now that object you are mapping with the test cases here. Data provided you go to the test data sheet, hybrid sheet. That is the you already learned in the test engine. So nothing new. Now here I am giving the logic. If my test case name not equal to null and length not equal to 0, then what I will do? I will launch the browser. Okay, let's open it. In my test cases value not equal to 0 means having some value. That time I will launch the browser. Okay. After that, as and when not equal to value means I will do the operation. So every time I will open a browser, and then I will do the operation. So that is the different logic I have tried to perform. Okay, so that simple thing I have added. Not equal to 0, then again same way, and it will do the operation like that. Okay, whatever code you have written in the other code. Now let's try to run the code and see the differences now. So it is a combination of data driven keyword framework. So every line will be considered as the test cases, and every time it will pass the data sheet also. So again same test case will be running, but you will be getting different result or outcome, because it is a hybrid framework, means keyword driven as well as for every combination will be considered as a test cases, whatever data sheet you want to read it. That is one logic, and in industry that 10 people can have 10 different logics. So I have tried to cover as much as logic simple way possible, So that is a simple thing. Every time it will open the browser. So at the end of the day, you can close the browser as well. That not be a big deal. Now if you go here, Eclipse, you could see 27 test cases run, 27 first. Why? Because this is having 27th row actually. 22 plus here 6 test case. So it is 26, so 22 row means 21 line, and here it is 6 line, 7 line means 6 line. So 21 plus 6, 27 actually. You could see. If you just sum it here, it will be 27, right? So 27, it will be considered 27 test case. Now you go here. You could see it is working like that. So fast is fast. What is the thing? Test login. Because that is my test case name. Test login. Test login. Test case name. Now it is giving you the thing. Log into the invalid credential. Set 3, that is the test case name. Where you are not passing anything. Right? That is the test case name. And second is same method you are calling. You are navigate to the URL. Your test case name is blank. So it is giving you blank. And your object properties and other part value is blank, and you are passing the URL. Third test cases, your test case is blank, but this you are setting the test cases, right? Setting the name. What thing? Email, username, and what ID and what value you could see you are getting it, giving the value. Password field, username field, name, attribute, and then the field. So that is the way it is working, all the steps. Now if you go to the hybrid part, also you could able to see here, step by step, username, password, sign in button, all this stuff. So that is the difference between the keyword and hybrid framework, and your objective is still same. You are able to execute everything. That can be little bit tweaked, and there might be 10 different options too for the generating the framework. But that is simple way I have tried to give you. Okay, so I'll be recapturing everything again. First, you need to create a project. First thing, Java project you can create it. You can create a package. You can create SRC package. You can create multiple folder. You can create a properties file where you can give the details. You can create Excel sheet. You can create the Excel file where you can have the 5, 6 or different columns. But here I have given the 5 column. So make sure that one will be your test cases and that column will be blank. Then you are defining your keyword. That keyword you need to define. Then object is nothing but the whatever name you are giving. This is the element locator. You can give any uppercase locator, that doesn't matter, but that you need to map it in the code, and this is the value every time you are passing. So here objective is that you are also trying to read through keyword, you are giving the value also. So both the hybrid and framework. Then you are first thing you are creating a reading the properties file. You are trying to read the data. Then you want to do the operations, driver.find element by and other stuff. You are also defining the keyword operation. What is the click, what is navigate to URL, what is step tick, all this stuff. And you are trying to read that Excel sheet, so that with the help of the sheet path, then the sheet name, tab name, all this stuff. So here you can go through the looping. So you can start from the column number 1. You can read it. And if you want to read that, you can start from the first one. That don't be a problem. So your logic is that as and when my test cases is having value, so it will just only print the test cases. In case my test case is not having value, means it will just do the operation. So that is the way you are trying to perform the keyword driven framework and hybrid framework. So you already learned how to do the data driven framework. Data driven framework is nothing but, right, in case you want to execute same test cases n number of times and define a variety of the data, you can go with that keyword driven framework. Data driven framework. And data-driven framework, you can read and write both the data. I have given 2 approach. So what is required? You need to create a project. You need to write, associate the Selenium jar file. You need to associate that all the jar file for the from that Apache PY. You need to create a test engine project, right? Then you can create all your code, right, and you can write the data. Whereas keyword and hybrid, right, you need to create your Excel sheet where you will be having n number of test cases. So just once you create the skeleton with 2 or 3 or 5 test cases, and that thing you can add it for n number defined variety of the data. Okay, so say you want to log into the 5 pages, 5 different pages with different variety of the data, but 5 pages is different, right? So that is the thing you can do it. So it will be combination of test cases, combination of data also. Okay, so Just need to import the project, no need to go away. I already having that something called keyword driven framework zip file. Download it. Okay, just need to simply change, need to what you need to change, you need to change your path, only the exe file path, otherwise you no need to change anything. Okay, what you need to do, you need to just do it here, path of the Chrome browser, that's all, that file path, it will work everything on, no need to change anything, just change it here and you can see able to run it. Then you can add n number of tests in case you are having other method, you need to define the keyword, you can also do it. Okay, so that code I'll not share because I already shared the details here, so go through it, and this code for the reading and writing file I'll share it. Okay, so that's all from today's session, guys. Thank you.